Welcome to another episode of Black Guy Platinums, where I platinum review games you may or may not heard of while showcasing gameplay. This is Ro here with Platinum 121, Gris. It's a small game from an indie developer group, and it's a really good, interesting one. Let's get into it. The game is told by the eyes of the protagonist, Gris, just a woman who has lost her ability to sing, and without that, the world goes in despair. She also has lost her mother, which is completely implied. There's no dialogue throughout this game. And she goes through the 5 stages of grief, which could be anger, despair, bargaining, etc. All the game is extremely short with some good platforming. It took me roughly about 4 hours, yes, 4 hours to completely beat this game, but don't sleep on that. As I said, it has really good platforming where you need to collect these little stars, which in my eyes, it's essentially just constellations that are broken up. And as you collect them, it guides you to the next zone, aka the chapters throughout the game. As you can see visually, the game looks like it's just completely bleak and completely dark. That's because as she progresses throughout the game and collects more stars to guide her to get through these stages of her grief, she is also gaining color, which is the different stages of grief, whereas red could be anger, blue could be, despair, green could be bargaining, etc. As you go through each chapter, the world changes. This is where the game shines. The visual artwork looks like painting styles, looks phenomenal. The art design for this game is truly the shining star, especially since there's no dialogue. So it's just breathtaking views and also just the obvious visuals that are helping the game player be able to understand what she's going through for how she lost her voice and how she's trying to gain it back. While that is also happening, the game has no combat, so there isn't anything where she's battling anybody or fighting, but it's simple platforming with a little bit of trickery and understanding what's going on and trying to use her different abilities like double jumping, gliding, etc. Now, as you gain these abilities, you also will be able to go back to go collect anything you missed within each chapter, but it all can be done within each chapter as seen. Now, as you do progress, there are some other animals that could be threats to you. I guess they would call them the bosses, like this giant bird, but they're more obstacles versus actual fights. Like this eel right here is just an obstacle in your way. But it was actually really interesting how they used this for a game that has no combat, so still really good. Now, as far as collecting in this game goes, they do have these things called mementos, which is the only collectibles in this game. So not really that hard. They are sometimes hidden, but for the most part, they're really obvious. There's only very few that are really hidden, but it's really cool platforming that you have to use in order to find them. Like this one, for example, where you have to use your swimming ability and a double jump with the, I think it's butterflies, in order for you to reach this extra room. Now, once you do get all the abilities and the world comes alive, again, the visuals, look at this beautiful vista. The visuals as the colors come and just really grasp her growth throughout the game. And as you collect all the mementos, they also have a secret ending that I won't spoil, but definitely need that for the platinum. But in all, as she's continued throughout this journey, she's just learning so much about herself. It wasn't necessarily challenging. So if I had to give her a rating, I would say the rating would probably be a 6. Because it wasn't a challenging platinum and it wasn't really rewarding, but the game was really good though. Even though it was a really short game, I still enjoyed the platinum for what it was. And I'm glad I added it to the list. Try any games and main AAA games. So check out my page for more. See you later.